Welcome to Murder with the Missus. I'm Darren.
And I'm Amy. And today we're going to tell you about Grant and Gracie Solomon.
Don't forget to check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Podbean, and Facebook. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you get the new episodes whenever they drop. And tell your friends as always.
I'm already pissed off, guys.
Well, before you get too pissed off, guys, just so you know, we do have a food truck.
What the?
Country Boy Smoke Q. So go and check us out on Facebook to see where we're going to be at. And then come check us out and eat our food.
Shameless plug.
I don't regret it one bit.
That's exactly shameless.
But anyway, yeah, we've been real busy. Right now it's food truck season. So we're constantly grinding on that right now.
On top of regular jobs, on top of the podcast. Yeah.
On top of everything. So, all right, now you can go ahead and proceed to get pissed off.
It's too late. I'm already pissed off. I was just showing Darren the pictures of some of this case, and it just got me riled all over again.
I got to listen to the 911 beforehand.
Yes.
Get ready.
Pay attention is all I could say. Just, oof. Now, I'm going to start this out with a trigger warning, because for those of you who are not familiar with this case, we will be talking about sexual abuse of a child, self-harm, and abuse. Also, all parties are presumed innocent until proven guilty, and to be found guilty, there first has to be an investigation. While this family has been no stranger to the judicial system, I can never say judicial system, there has been no conviction. We are reporting public information provided by the alleged victims against Aaron Solomon that he emphatically denies. So now that that's out of the way, let's start with Grant. His parents were Angelia, or Angie, and Aaron Solomon. Angie got pregnant with Grant pretty early into their relationship and says that she was pressured by her parents as well as Aaron to get married. So just 6 weeks into their relationship in 2001, that's what they did. Grant was born in 2002 and his sister Gracie came 4 years later. From how Grant has been described, he sounded pretty awesome. Everyone says he was an old soul. He was wise beyond his years and friends always came to him for advice. He had a knack for always seeming to know when those around him needed someone, and bam, he showed up. His mom said that she was jealous of his photographic and auditory memory. Same. He was a big, athletic guy, too. He was roughly 6'3" and about 210 pounds. He was very good at baseball, where he was a pitcher. And he was super close to Gracie and his mom, but also his girlfriend of 2 years, Hannah. He was a protector, as much as he could be. Hannah said one of her favorite things about him was that he always had this ability to read a room and pick up on cues. He knew when to act right and be appropriate, but also when to act goofy to make people laugh.
He sounds like he's pretty well-rounded.
Yeah, he sounds like our kid, our son.
Yeah.
Now, it's a miracle that he's like this, considering what all he and Gracie went through growing up. And we'll get into that in a little bit. For now, just keep in mind that Grant and Gracie had been through a lot of turmoil. So at the time of Grant's passing, he was 18 and his parents were divorced. Angie and Aaron were in a long custody battle at this time. Gracie was with Angie and Grant was with Aaron legally or on paper, but stayed with Angie. He hadn't actually been with Aaron for quite some time. Grant had been waiting for responses from his chosen colleges and was bummed out that he hadn't heard back, but he was still focusing on baseball. On July 20th of 2020, he had plans to meet Aaron at a baseball training institute called Ward Performance Institute in Gallatin, Tennessee. Grant didn't really want to go because he was just getting over COVID and his lungs were still trying to catch up, but he went anyways. As he was leaving Angie's house, he said he didn't want to die in Gallatin today. Angie figured he was worried about his lungs, but Aaron was insistent that they had an appointment, so Grant went. He drove the hour to the facility and parked his white four-door Toyota Tacoma next to his dad's vehicle in the parking lot. We'll post several pictures to show this scene because this parking lot has quite a slope, with the actual building being at the top of a hill, then sloping down to a grass ditch with rocks for drainage. Then there's a sidewalk, another little tiny grass area before it meets the highway. And I hope that makes sense. Aaron says Grant got out of his truck and walked towards the back of it, but Aaron's truck was still running, so he couldn't tell if Grant had turned the ignition off to the Toyota or not. But anyways, Grant walked towards the back of his truck. Aaron said he thought he was going to get his baseball equipment out of the bed of the truck. Aaron looked at his phone to check a work email. He heard a loud crash, and when he looked up, the truck was not in the parking space next to him. It was across the lot, so it was like down that slope and in the big ditch. He walked down there and saw Grant under the truck, and he called 911 at 8:44 a.m.
Yeah, we'll play the 911 call. You'll hear him talking to other people at the scene while he's on a 911 call.
Right.
It gets kind of frustrating.
Sometimes he talks over the 911 operator, and that kind of ticks me off.
And it is a little long. It's about 4 minutes. It's a little over 4 minutes long, so just kind of bear with us. And
it's not horribly graphic, but if you're not down to listen to a 911 call, I totally get it. Safety first, but you'll want to skip ahead about 4.5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Where's your emergency? It's 1357 South Water Street. It's off 109. Please hurry.
You said 57?
Please hurry.
Okay, what's going on?
1357. My son's truck backed over him, and it's rolled over him and dragged him into the ditch, and it's on top of him. He's trapped under the truck, and somehow it dragged him underneath it. Yes, my son is under it. I'm trying to call 911.
Okay, what's your name?
Oh my God. My name is Aaron Solomon.
And you said you're 1357 South Water Avenue, right?
Yes.
How old is the male?
He's 18. He just turned 18 a couple weeks, about a month ago. It's my son. Oh my God. Oh my God, this is not good.
Is he awake?
Oh, please hurry. I don't think so. He's not alert, right? No, he's out. And he's trapped. I got 3 guys here, and he's trapped under the truck.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I understand, sir. Stay on the phone with me while we get somebody out there. What's your name?
Aaron Solomon.
All right, Aaron.
Huh?
What kind of vehicle is it?
It's a Toyota Tacoma, and it's the vehicle he's underneath the vehicle.
Okay, I got that.
And it's...
Okay, I got that. What color is it?
It's a white truck. That's my son. It's somehow it's backed up. Yeah. Yeah, I'm on with 911 right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Was your son working on it?
No, he was just getting out of it. We're on an incline, and I guess he didn't have it in park or something, or it wasn't engaged, or... Oh my God. Oh my God, I can't believe
still not
this.
responding?
No.
And he's still under the truck. No one can get out from under it?
No.
We've got units and routes to you. I'm just asking you questions for we can update them, okay? Can you check and see if he's breathing?
Somebody's telling me that he's coming to.
Okay,
maybe.
He is waking up,
Maybe.
kind of keeping still. So he is.
Well, he can't move. I don't think he can move. I don't know.
Okay,
No, he can't move. He's trapped.
Okay, we got somebody en route. Now, when he wakes up, he might be scared. Can somebody get down there and talk to him?
Yeah, somebody talk to him. Shit. Gee, there's blood. Wait, is he facing up or down? He's facing up. They said he may aspirate. We need to hurry. Oh, my God.
So does he have blood coming out of his mouth?
Yeah, there's blood coming out. Yeah, somehow it drug him down, I think. I don't know whether it wasn't in park or what, or if it didn't engage the brake, or it drug him underneath somehow.
Okay.
They said he's facing up.
Okay.
But he's bleeding from his mouth. So, Grant, turn your face to the side if you can, barely, but be careful.
Don't move him, okay?
No, we can't move him. We can't move him. Oh, God.
All right, Ethan, they're there. I'm going to let you go, okay?
Yeah, okay.
And there it is.
And that's why I was pissed off when we first started recording, because listening to that, I'm hot right now. Like, my whole body gets hot.
It's like, can you talk to him? Hey, will y'all talk to him?
Go down. Why are you not down there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm judging.
If that was me, I mean, I'd be down there trying to lift the truck. I'd be doing all kinds of stuff. I'd be doing what I'm not supposed to be doing, probably.
And once you find out that the truck is not actually on him, like, he's not pinned under the tires, he's in between tires, I would have rolled that truck right on back into the highway. Traffic be damned. Get off my son.
Yeah.
If he was pinned, okay, that's different. Don't move the truck. But he was not pinned. He was literally just laying there. Get the truck. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So, like we said, he never went in the ditch. He instructed other people to check on him, told the other people not to move him. These were 3 men that he were talking to in high-vis vests, like the reflective vests for that construction workers, or, someone who's going to be out and about needs to be visible, reflective. And this is according to a worker at the facility, so the baseball training facility. He said he was inside setting up, noticed cars sideways in the parking lot, so he went outside and saw what was going on. He saw Aaron at the edge of the parking lot, which is up, not in the ditch, the 3 men in vests, and saw Grant under the truck, alive and moving his head. The worker went inside to call his boss, and when he came back outside, the 3 men were gone, but EMS and police were there. Now, side note, the 3 men in vests were never interviewed by police. They don't even know who they were. They never checked. The truck was half in the ditch, so the front end of the truck is towards the parking lot. The tires are resting on those big rocks in the ditch, and the back tires are up on that sidewalk that's in between the ditch and the highway. Initially, first responders thought that based on the position of the truck when they were pulling up to the scene, that someone had been driving on the highway and went into the ditch head first. It literally looks like someone was trying to turn into the parking lot and turned too late, or, as they have said, was possibly on their cell phone, not paying attention, and just went into the ditch. And like I said, Grant was not pinned under the tires of the truck. He was actually laying face up in between the front 2 tires, but his head was what was in between the 2 tires, with his feet towards the back of the truck or towards the highway. That doesn't make sense to me how, if it happened the way Aaron was speculating that it happened, how he could be in this position. Now, Aaron's version of events based on the 911 call and what he told first responders was possibly the truck had jumped gears or wasn't fully in gear and rolled over Grant, dragging him down the parking lot and into the ditch. And that doesn't make sense, like I said, because of the position of Grant's body. If he was behind the truck and the truck hit him, why was his head in between? He would have had to have rolled underneath the truck. EMS was able to get Grant out into the hospital, but sadly, Grant was pronounced dead at 9:28 a.m.
This is not making any sense.
And it will keep not making sense. There's nothing in this makes sense. Now, before Angie could get to the hospital, Aaron had already declined an autopsy. In most states, they don't really give you an option. Typically, an unattended death gets an autopsy. And since there was no medical professional there when he was injured, they would need to go in there and find out what really happened. And the only thing I can think of is that because he was pronounced dead at the actual hospital instead of at the scene, that they didn't require one, or maybe that's just how things are done in Tennessee. At the emergency room, Angie alleges that Aaron said that they could be a family now and made comments like that Grant's organs could be donated up until 9 p.m. without ventilation. Super weird. But let's talk about the crime scene and the other issues with Aaron's version of events. Grant always kept his baseball equipment in the back seat of his truck, never in the bed, which makes sense coming from a ball family. I know that people are serious about the sport and they're going to spend hella money on just bats alone. You would want to be able to lock that stuff up. Remember that Aaron initially said he thought Grant walked to the back of the truck to get his equipment out of the bed, but he would later change that story to say the equipment was in fact in the back seat. So why would Grant be at the back of his truck?
One of Grant's bats was missing from his bag and has never been found.
Right. That's another weird thing. Where's the bat? Like I said, these things are expensive. You're not just going to loan it to somebody, and even if he did, I would imagine that friend would come forward after he heard that one was missing, be like, hey, I've got it. I borrowed it, but nothing like that has happened. It's just gone. Now, while his cell phone was at the scene, Angie didn't get it until later that night, and it had been destroyed. But his Life 360 app shows him peeing in the ditch. It never showed him in the actual parking lot. But GPS is not always narrowed down to a 1-foot radius, and I'm not sure how accurate that is, but I did want to mention it. Grant did wear glasses, and they were reportedly undamaged and in the grass by the sidewalk, which would have been at the back of the truck. There's also roughly 60 feet between the parking space and where the truck was found. Now, there were no drag marks or drag injuries to his body. No damage or scuffs to his clothes or shoes. Plus, keep in mind that he had just drove about an hour to get there, so the truck, especially the exhaust, would be hot, but there were no burn marks on him or his clothes. The only injuries noted by hospital staff are a laceration with bleeding on the back of his head with a skull fracture, a bruise on his jaw, bruise on his left hip, and a bruise on his right thigh. But he was tall, and the truck was medium sized, so if the truck had rolled over him, the impact would have been around the knee level. The skull fracture and laceration would likely have come from where his head had impacted the concrete of the parking lot. So there should be blood there, right? The only blood at the scene was on one rock in the ditch. None of the other rocks, none in the parking lot.
But there was blood inside the truck.
Inside the truck.
Oh.
Tell me how it magically made its way inside the truck.
And where's that other bat?
They've never found it. Mm-hmm. Now, there wasn't a lot of blood inside the truck, but there was blood noted in the truck. Also, the truck was not running, and it was in park. The only tire marks in the grass were between the sidewalk and the highway, just leading more towards the initial assumption that the truck came into the ditch head first from the highway. Had it come rolling backwards across the parking lot, there should have been marks in the grass where the parking lot met the ditch, but there were none. Many theorized, based on evidence, that the skull fracture was not a result of the truck running over and dragging Grant, that the missing bat could have had something to do with it. Now, Aaron would drive this truck for a few months. No professional testing was done on it to see if there was some type of malfunction. Angie does have a video where she recorded Aaron telling his version of events, and you can watch this online, as well as him trying to get the truck to slip out of gear, but it doesn't. About a year after the accident, Aaron sold the Toyota to a scrapyard. It was later found out that he had, at some point, turned it into insurance as totaled and collected the money on it. Angie was able to track down the truck and buy it back in April of 2021. She had the black box pulled and forensically tested. Twice, actually. The reports show there were no mechanical issues. There is nothing to indicate the truck could accidentally roll down the hill. Actually, in the last seconds that day, the reports show accelerator pedal increases indicating a driver is accelerating, steering input changes indicating steering the vehicle, and vehicle shift position indicates the transmission was in drive. So in the last 3 seconds before the crash, someone was in the driver's seat, someone accelerated, and then someone put it back into park after it was in drive.
That was enough to get the case reopened. But very short after, on August 8th, 2021, it was closed again.
Yep, closed right back down within months. The Attorney General said that there was not enough evidence to proceed, and I don't see how. Hell, Angie found out that they didn't even have an actual appointment at the facility that day like Aaron had originally told them. Just none of it makes sense. But this case brought up a whole bunch of other stuff. And as I mentioned in the title, it also involves Grant's younger sister, Gracie, as well as his mother, Angie. So we'll go back to the beginning. Aaron used to be a sports anchor in Nashville. Angie alleges that the emotional and physical abuse in their relationship started immediately after they got married and only got worse over the years. He was very controlling over who she talked to, their finances, what they wore. After Gracie was born, he started wanting them to match clothing, so he would pick his clothes out and then everyone else would have to choose outfits of the same color. Dumb shit like that. He lost his job at the TV station in January of 2011. He said he left voluntarily, but Angie alleges that he had inappropriate material on his computer and phone, so he was fired. She alleges that he was grooming underage girls and seeing prostitutes. She also alleges that she had to beg him to allow her to buy the kids milk, even though she was the only one with an income at the time. She said he would spontaneously tell Grant to go make a bowel movement, no warning, out of the blue. If he couldn't go on demand, he had to wait until the next day. She said Grant was even scared to use the bathroom at school because he was afraid his dad would find out and punish him. In June 2012, Aaron's aunt passed away and left him a trust, making him a multimillionaire. But it would come to him by way of a monthly check for $100,000 a month, every month. Damn. If I happen to have any uber rich, long lost relatives out there, just know that I've always loved you. You're my favorite. While waiting for the trust paperwork to be processed, he got a job at Merrill Lynch as a financial advisor. With a little more freedom, Angie says friends told her about a psychiatrist, Dr. Reed, who also ran an underground organization that helped abuse victims get out.
In September of 2012, Dr. Reed told her to keep a log of the abuse to help in court.
Yes. It's very important to have dates, times, all the details. And she kept her log on her phone. It was also around this time that Gracie, who was about 5 years old, told Angie that she didn't want to see a male doctor anymore because it reminded her of how Aaron would touch her. Alleged controller of all things, Aaron was in charge of Gracie's bath time and trigger warning. She said he would put things in her and it would hurt. Angie confronted Aaron, who said if she told anyone that he would take the kids away from her, which is a classic abuser line. He found her phone log of all her abuse and threw her phone in the toilet. This was during a time she alleges that he would physically assault her after the kids went to bed at night. In May of 2013, Angie alleges that Aaron wrapped a hairdryer cord around her neck, but Grant was able to stop it before she was seriously hurt. Aaron took her to the hospital saying she attempted suicide. After evaluation, doctor's notes said that she was not suicidal. They gave her resources to contact and discharged her. When she got home, the kids were gone. This is also the same day that Aaron started receiving his monthly checks. She called the cops, but they couldn't do anything. She called lawyers and found out that Aaron had started divorce proceedings and filed for a protective order against her. At the end of May, he did bring the kids home just to take them away again at 5 a.m. the next morning. About a month later, at the divorce hearing, she told the judge what was going on and the judge didn't believe her. Her mother, father, and sister testified that she was a pathological liar. Angie said she told them about him attempting to kill her, but phone records show that after this happened, Aaron texted her that he took a picture of her that night, which was a lie. But Angie replied, "You took a picture of me before you tried to help me? That just shows where this has gone. I staged that anyway, but who cares? Use it against me. All I wanted is to be loved, nothing more. Unfortunately, I wouldn't kill myself, but you would memorialize my faking it to get attention and use it against me instead of love me."
So she lied about that.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay.
So that's why we're bringing this out, just to let everybody have all of the information. Now, Angie testified that she didn't think that she had actually sent those texts, but the judge didn't believe that because there was also an email from Angie to Aaron after that saying, "I made a bad choice for attention, but I accept responsibility for that choice and have learned what I did and won't repeat it." Maybe she sent that email, maybe she didn't, but it gives me the ick, almost like a punishment to write 100 times, "I accept responsibility for my choices." It just rubbed me the wrong way. But it likely was a cry for help. Like, look what you're driving me to. And he couldn't have cared less. Everyone has their own opinions on this incident. Like I said, just wanted to make sure that everyone had the facts. Aaron has been awarded full custody of the kids, and she was made to pay the multi-millionaire child support, which I don't fully understand. She couldn't pay at one point, so she was arrested. The judge told her she would never be a mom again. Wow. But she was granted visitation. The first visit, Angie took a picture of Gracie's eyes, which we will also post on Facebook. She has large purple bags under her eyes because she wasn't sleeping. The molestation was allegedly still happening. Allegedly, I'm going to wear that word out. Aaron was locking the kids in their rooms at night, or as many believe, was locking Grant in so he couldn't find out when the abuse was actually happening.
There was something about the judge in this case, if I remember correctly, right?
Yes. Yes, sir. Judge Deanna Johnson. Her husband attends church with Aaron. You'll see more about the church in just a minute. But Judge Johnson wasn't listening to anything Angie had to say, so Angie moved to another county and filed allegations there to get a new judge. But the doctor that was supposed to testify on Gracie's behalf didn't show up to court, so the case was thrown out. The family just had to do what they could and bide their time to keep Aaron happy, according to Angie, which brings us to 2018. Gracie alleges that in a hotel room while out of town for a baseball tournament, she tried to get Aaron to get her own bed, but he got a room with only one bed and assaulted her that night. So Angie tried a different tactic. She went to Aaron's church, the Grace Chapel Church, and to the kids' school, the Grace Christian Academy. The pastor of the church met with Grant. Grant told Angie, Gracie, and Hannah that he told the pastor all about the abuse. But the pastor says that there was no mention of abuse. Grant just wanted to talk about Jesus. Now, the founder of the church posted a sermon online September 30th called Biblical Qualifications for Bringing an Accusation Against Someone, saying there must be multiple witnesses, including other people, fingerprints, or DNA evidence for an accusation to be valid. What? That sermon has since been removed.
And the school?
Now, the school tried to say that they didn't know anything about the abuse accusations, but Angie has a recording of a meeting she had with school officials. Gracie had told a couple of her friends about the abuse, and it had spread around school, as it does. The officials tell Angie that 10 and 12-year-olds started asking their parents what sexual abuse is. They said Gracie needed to stop talking about it because, quote, a lot of kids are being affected by what she's gone through and what she's telling people, and they didn't want it to become the talk of the school.
Really? She's screaming out loud to help.
It gets worse. It keeps going.
And all these people are just like, you guys just need to tell her to shut up.
Yeah, she's disrupting the other students and she needs to stop. I know. I'm glad she recorded that. Ugh. Gracie actually begged them one day to keep Aaron from picking her up from school for a doctor's appointment, and they said there was nothing they could do and made her go. How about you report it? Isn't that what school's supposed to do? Angie went to the Williamson County Sheriff, and he had a social worker interview with the kids. She did not remove the kids, but her interview was given to the judge along with a tearful video that Gracie made about the abuse. At first, the judge didn't even look at them, but did go back and watch part of them. And Angie was given custody of the kids. But then the judge went back on the ruling, saying that Grant had to go back to Aaron. They literally said he was a big boy who could defend himself against his father. What the hell kind of logic is that? It's system failure after system failure for these poor kids. Grant spent as much time away from Aaron's house as possible. Remember, Grant was upset because he wasn't hearing back from all of his colleges he applied to.
Aaron was allegedly hiding all of the acceptance letters that weren't from Harvard because, really?
Yep.
That wasn't from Harvard because that's where Aaron wanted Grant to go to school.
Yes.
Harvard or nothing.
Harvard or nothing. Yes, that's how controlling he was, allegedly. In February of 2019, Angie was still fighting for custody of Grant, but Judge Deanna Johnson not only denied her, she also barred Angie from filing anything else for 6 years. Why the random number of years? Well, because that would be after Gracie turned 18. She called Angie an abusive litigant. Now, Judge Johnson is married to Senator Jack Johnson, the one who attends church with Aaron, along with Governor Bill Lee. Well. Color me shocked. The church, the school, the courts, all tied together with a fucked up little bow. And now we are at 2020, Grant's tragic accident about a month after he turned 18. Now, what would be the motive for Aaron to hurt Grant now? I'll tell you. Since Angie was barred from trying to protect her daughter, and because Aaron still had visitation rights, Grant was trying to get custody of Gracie to protect her, now that he was able to at 18. And now that he has passed away, he was not able to do that. So Aaron still has his rights to Gracie. In September of 2020, Gracie filed a restraining order against Aaron, but was denied. In October, A friend of Angie's tried to file on Gracie's behalf, but that was thrown out of court, saying the allegations lack merit. In 2021, Gracie posted a video of the abuse on YouTube. It's called Gracie's Story, A Cry for Help. Child Services took her for 6 months after this, but she was placed in a loving home during that time. She is currently back with her mom that I can see. And in March of 2022, Aaron filed a defamation suit against Angie and a lot of others, but he ended up dropping it. The Tennessee Department of Children's Services has substantiated Gracie's allegations of abuse, but the family court will not.
They are still fighting to get Grant's case reopened.
They are. They need to exhume his body to do whatever testing they can on him, so they have a GoFundMe, Justice for Grant, and the police, during their reported 57-minute investigation, only talked to Aaron. He was the only witness to what happened to Grant, and his story doesn't make sense based on the evidence. There's also a change.org petition to reopen the case, so you don't always have to help in these cases with money. There are a lot of ways to help, so you can also sign the petition, which only takes a minute of your time. But this is why this one pisses me off so bad, is because nobody is listening to Gracie.
Yeah, that's pretty sorry, because, I mean, you got the church that won't listen to her, you got the courts that won't listen to her, you got families of the friends that won't listen to her.
The school.
I mean, everybody's just telling Gracie just basically keep her mouth shut and take it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've seen this video of hers, her help video, basically a cry for help video that's on YouTube. It's had a lot of views, and it's so sad because she doesn't go into huge detail, but just you can tell by her body language and her emotion that she is at the end of her rope. Like, she's trying her damnedest to not have to go to her dad. And there's also videos that she took of when she's telling her dad she doesn't want to go with him. And he's like, it doesn't matter. I'm the one following the rules. Y'all are breaking the rules. I'm going to get my visitation, blah, blah, blah. You know, he's being all high and mighty with her. And she's literally crying, I don't want to go. And the school's like, go ahead and get in the car, honey.
And how old is she?
Right now?
Yeah. Because I think at 12, it's fine.
Okay.
Because I think at 12 years old, she has the right to choose not to.
She's past 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think anywhere, the right to refuse to go with a parent is 12 years old.
Well, they can be taken into consideration.
But anyway, yeah, if she's about to be 18 now,
right?
Then, boy, wait till she comes out with the stories now.
Well, I'm thinking she might. I mean, I would sue or something.
Boy, once she turns 18, nobody can tell her nothing.
No, see, because a lot of people are saying that because Angie lied about the suicide attempt and stuff like that, that this is a case of the parent manipulating the children to make them say that there's been abuse.
Yeah, but I mean, she can come out when she's 18, she can come out and tell, like, what she tried to do, like all the school that people at school, she tried to tell the preachers, everybody, the parents, the friends, everybody that she tried to get to help her.
That's what I'm saying.
And they basically, she could basically out them.
That's what I'm talking about, a lawsuit. She needs to sue them all because their protocol is shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh, this whole case pissed me off, and these poor kids, and then Angie's been going through it and fighting for them. It's just sad. But we need Grant's case reopened because that's a legit murder charge.
Yeah.
And
yeah, because where's the bat?
Where's the bat? Where's the blood? Where's the other marks on him? Where's anything? Make it make sense.
Exactly.
So if you or someone you know is a victim, please contact the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network at 800-656-HOPE, HOPE.
All right, well, that's the end of this one. Catch us on the next one.
Bye.